After the Nigeria-Biafra Civil War, the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, was established on May 22, 1973 to give the youths the opportunity to leave their parents and stay alone to contribute to the betterment of the West Africa country, Nigeria. Interestingly, a few days ago, one of the serving corpers, Rita Aguamaye, went to the market in Lagos State to buy foodstuffs, but she was shocked that the prices of foodstuffs in the month of March have again increased far more than they were previous months. Apparently faced with the heat of passion, Aguamaye took to social media to call on the youths to unite and defend the country from total economic collapse, saying it was her first time to leave her parents and start paying domestic bills alone, adding that the money she spends on transport is more than the monthly salary NYSC is paying her, begging the youths to stage a 30 days non-stop challenge protest to make the country president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, she described as a terrible person to be alive, to his political and institutional responsibilities of making cost of living reasonably okay for people to afford, stressing that some Nigerians are pretending to still be rich whereas the bad economy has pushed them into poverty. This, Reno Omokri, former presidential spokesperson who have been living abroad since 2014, reacted and said that there is no country in the world where a paramilitary official like the Corper is permitted to criticize the government. The Youth Corps member was seen in the video crying and weeping over the deteriorating economic condition of the West Africa state. According to her, less than 24 hours after she made the video, some officials of the NYSC summoned her to her primary place of assignment, PPA Local Government Area Office, and the audio recording of the suspected NYSC official she made available to the public. The NYSC official could be heard raining curses and abusing her on the phone for criticizing the government over the apparent terrible economic hardship currently staring millions of Nigerians in the face. Former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, commended the Corp member for speaking out. Atiku said, "Ray embodies the spirit of a new generation of women who champion the ideals of popular participation and unwavering advocacy in the political sphere. I deeply admire her boldness and wisdom, her fearless resolve to speak truth to power, undeterred by the weight of opposition. She follows in the footsteps of formidable trailblazers like Gambo Sawaba, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, Margaret Ekpo, and countless other women who have stood resolute in defense of the common good. Rather than being met with hostility, Ray deserves encouragement and support. She is a shining emblem of the Nigerian youth, a testament to the long-held promise that the leaders of tomorrow are already among us, ready to shape a better future." Former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, also commended the Corp member for highlighting the troubling trends ongoing in Nigeria. Peter Obi said, "The National Youth Corps member, Rita Aguamaye, also known as Ray, recently had an experience that highlights a troubling trend in our nation, one where voices of reason and truth are met with intimidation rather than dialogue and engagement. Reports indicate that she has faced threats from NYSC officials simply for expressing her concerns about the current administration. This pattern is not isolated. I, too, have been subjected to threats for daring to offer constructive suggestions and comments. I now face daily intimidation, harassment, and name-calling simply for expressing solution-based views on government policies. Such actions are antithetical to the principles of democracy. A government that silences its citizens is not democratic, or one that is subject to accountability and good governance and is most often corrupt. I urge the current administration to reflect deeply on its approach to dissent and recognize that constructive criticism is a cornerstone of democratic progress. To all patriotic Nigerians, our nation's future and development depend on our collective courage to speak out against misgovernance, injustice, and intimidation. Do not let fear stifle your voice. Stand firm, support one another, and continue to advocate for Nigeria we all envision. A nation where freedom of speech is sacrosanct, and leadership is accountable to the people, especially in critical areas such as education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation. A just and prosperous Nigeria should be one where people like Ray are encouraged to speak out about the challenges they face, while those in government take urgent action to address these issues. Condemning the action of the Youth Corps member, Reno Omokri reacted and said thus: "In any country on earth, you can criticize your government and its leaders if you are a member of the military forces and paramilitary services. However, you are expected to resign your commission or leave the force to do so. For the same reason, you cannot be a serving member of a military force and paramilitary service and contest for an election. You can contest, but you will have to resign your commission or leave the service to do so. In the United Kingdom, it is even more extreme. Please fact check me. According to the last guidelines in the HSR2, General Principles of Conduct of the British Civil Service, you must give your undivided allegiance to the state. They have no problem with you attacking the government, but you must resign to do so. Many Nigerians are just very sentimental. They do not think. They just jump on trends. The National Youth Service Corps is actually a paramilitary reserve force. That is why it is a corps. It is just like the Federal Road Safety Corps, only that the FRSC is a career, and the NYSC is just for a year. Read the NYSC enabling law. The federal government of Nigeria can deploy NYSC Corps members to fight during a state of war. Read, it is in the NYSC Act. If every Corps member was allowed to criticize the government, there would be no discipline in the Corps, and any presidential aspirant supporting this behavior would be irresponsible. There is no perfect government on earth. If we allow Corps members criticize governments publicly, morale in the Corps will collapse. Not may, will, and the NYSC will become an anything-can-happen institution that gradually loses its relevance and credibility as various Corps members start vying to outdo themselves in attacking whichever government policy they dislike. People aspiring to lead Nigeria ought to know these things. Not everything should be politicized. Please wait until after your 1 year of service. Then, you can join El Rufai or Peter Obi's campaigns or their parties. But if you cannot wait for 1 year, resign now and join them, Reno Omokri stated. On December 23, 2024, we had reported that there are uncertainties over the economic situation that await Nigerians and other residents in the West Africa country in 2025 after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the sum of 49.7 trillion Naira's 2025 budget appropriation bill before the joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives of the National Assembly, with a revenue target of 34.82 trillion Nairas, hikes the dollar to naira exchange rate by 100%, from 750 nairas in 2024 to pegging amount of 1,500 nairas in 2025. It would be recalled that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his first budget presentation as Nigeria president on November 29, 2023, pegged 750 nairas to $1 as exchange rate for 2024. The president pegged the dollar rate at 750 nairas when the foreign currency was fluctuating between 856 nairas and 900 nairas as at last quarter of 2023. The 750 nairas dollar rate pegging for 2024 by the president saw the foreign currency currently exchanging between 1,656 nairas and 1,700 nairas, representing more than 100% negative increasement in the last quarter of 2024 when compared to the dollar rate as of December 2023. With the president pegging 2025 dollar rate at 1,500 nairas, there are possibilities that the dollar may trade between 2,856 nairas and 3,000 nairas before the end of the last quarter of 2025. In line with the previous year's economic and exchange rate behavioral patterns and realities in the country. This shows there may be more harder and tougher times in 2025 for larger numbers of residents, both the middle class and the poor in the country, as the federal government showed more wider vision and quest for more revenue in the year ahead. The 2025 budget shows that more than 30% of the 49.7 trillion naira will be used to service existing loans, with the government planning to borrow more new loans in 2025, sequel to the budget deficit of more than 13 trillion naira. According to local media, The passage of the 2025 appropriation bill for second reading within 24 hours by the lawmakers marks an important milestone in the budgeting process. The bill will undergo further scrutiny and debate before its final passage. As the Senate resumes its plenary session in January, lawmakers are expected to delve deeper into the budget and make necessary adjustments so that it aligns with the country's development priorities. Details of the 2025 budget presentation as reported by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga reads in full below. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Wednesday in Abuja assured Nigerians of better days ahead as economic reforms begin to yield positive results, with noticeable signals in improved security, education, healthcare, and a globally acknowledged 3.4% GDP growth in third quarter of 2024. President Tinubu gave the assurance at the National Assembly during presentation of the 49.7 trillion Naira's 2025 appropriation bill to the joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives, attributing the successes recorded so far in economic reforms to the patience, resilience and tolerance of Nigerians in supporting the process. The President projected an expenditure bill of 49.7 trillion Nairas, which is 35% higher than the 28 trillion Naira's budget of 2024, with priority on education, healthcare and security. President Tinubu said the 2025 budget will focus on restoration, securing peace and rebuilding prosperity, which reflects the core vision of the renewed hope agenda of improving the livelihood of Nigerians through the strengthening of social and physical infrastructure, and ensuring inclusivity in reaching development goals. The 2025 budget proposal again reinforces our administration's roadmap to secure peace, prosperity, and hope for a greater future for our beloved nation. This budget, christened Budget of Restoration, Securing Peace, Rebuilding Prosperity, strikes at the very core of our renewed hope agenda and demonstrates our commitment to stabilizing the economy, improving lives, and repositioning our country for greater performance. The journey of economic renewal and institutional development, which we began 18 months ago as a nation, is very much underway. It is not a journey of our choosing but one we had to embark on for Nigeria to have a real chance at greatness. I thank every Nigerian for embarking on this journey of reforms and transformation with us. The road of reforms is now clearly upon us, and as the President of this blessed nation, I know this less traveled road has not been easy, that there have been difficulties and sacrifices. They will not be in vain, and we must keep faith with the process to arrive at our collectively desired destination, the President said. President Tinubu noted that the 2025 budget will focus on restoration and seek to consolidate on the key policies instituted to restructure the economy to boost human capital development, increase the volume of trade and investments, bolster oil and gas production, and get the manufacturing sector humming again and ultimately increase the competitiveness of our economy. He said the ongoing economic reforms would not be reversed. Rather, it will be strengthened to build on the gains of stimulating the economy to be more robust, equitable, predictable, and globally competitive. We do not intend to depart from this critical path to strengthen the Nigerian economy. Just as I believe in the resilience of our economy to withstand the current challenges, I also strongly believe in the resilience of the Nigerian people. Again, I summon the unstoppable Nigerian spirit to lead us on as we work to rebuild the fabric of our economy and existence. The improvements we witnessed in the 2024 budget have led us into the 2025 budget. The goals of advancing national security, creating economic opportunities, investing in our youthful population, infrastructure development, and national reorientation form the core of the 2025 budget. But more than that, this will lay a solid foundation for Nigeria's future growth trajectory, President Tinubu stated. The President told the lawmakers that the Nigerian economy was gradually rebounding. I report today that our economy is responding positively to stimulus. Our objective is to further stimulate the economy through the implementation of targeted fiscal stimulus packages through public expenditures and specific non-inflationary spending. The reforms we have instituted are beginning to yield results. Nigerians will soon experience a better and more functional economy. Global economic growth for the outgoing year 2024 was projected at 3.2%, and against predictions, our country made significant progress. Our economy grew by 3.46% in the third quarter of 2024, up from 2.54% in the third quarter of 2023. Our foreign reserves now stand at nearly $42 billion, providing a robust buffer against external shocks. Our rising exports are reflected in the current trade surplus, which now stands at 5.8 trillion naira, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. These clear results of gradual recovery, among others, reflect the resilience of our economy and the impact of deliberate policy choices we made from the outset, he added. On the performance of the 2024 budget, President Tinubu said remarkable milestones were achieved, with 14.55 trillion naira in revenue, meeting 75% of target as of the third quarter, while 21.60 trillion naira was recorded in expenditure, representing 85% of target in the third quarter. The president noted that outlook on 2025 was more positive for Nigerians. The 2025 budget seeks to restore macroeconomic stability, enhance the business environment, foster inclusive growth, employment, and poverty reduction, promote equitable income distribution and human capital development. Our budgetary allocations reflect the administration's strategic priorities, especially in the implementation of the Renewed Hope Agenda and its developmental objectives. In 2025, we are targeting 34.82 trillion naira in revenue to fund the budget. Government expenditure in the same year is projected to be 49.7 trillion naira, including 15.81 trillion naira for debt servicing. A total of 13.08 trillion naira, or 3.89% of GDP, will make up the budget deficit. This is an ambitious but necessary budget to secure our future, the president added. President Tinubu said the government would target inflation and bring it to 15%. Improve foreign exchange from approximately 1,700 naira per US dollar to 1,500 naira, and a base crude oil production assumption of 2.06 million barrels per day, MBPD. Other projections for 2025, the president explained, will include reduced importation of petroleum products alongside increased export of finished petroleum products, bumper harvests, driven by enhanced security, reducing reliance on food imports, increased foreign exchange inflows through foreign portfolio investments, higher crude oil output and exports, coupled with a substantial reduction in upstream oil and gas production costs. The budget projects inflation will decline from the current rate of 34.6% to 15% next year, while the exchange rate will improve from approximately 1,700 naira per US dollar to 1,500 naira, and a base crude oil production assumption of 2.06 million barrels per day, MBPD, he said. President Tinubu said the priority areas for the 2025 budget allocations are defense and security, 4.91 trillion nairas, infrastructure, 4.06 trillion nairas, health, 2.48 trillion nairas, and education, 3.52 trillion nairas. Our administration has so far disbursed 34 billion naira to over 300,000 students via the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund. In the 2025 budget, we have made provision for 826.90 billion naira for infrastructure development in the educational sector. This provision also includes those for the Universal Basic Education, UBEC, and the 9 new higher educational institutions, he noted. In his remarks, the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, thanked the President for his bold and courageous effort in rebuilding the Nigerian economy, assuring that the lawmakers will remain selfless and patriotic in supporting the reforms, particularly at the grassroots. Describing President Tinubu as a national treasure, Senator Akpabio commended the President for improvement in security, international recognition and treatment of Nigerians with more dignity, facilitating student loans, reduced debt servicing, Social Security for the less privileged and signing of the minimum wage bill with promptness. He said those critical of the proposed tax reforms should create more time to study the details of the bill before the National Assembly. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, said the tax reform will ensure equitable, efficient collection and utilization of revenue and ensure more consideration for the underprivileged and vulnerable Nigerians. He said the lawmakers would continue to support the president to realize his dream for the country.
I genuinely feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like if a lot of Nigerians come out and start speaking on what we are actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government. Don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time where things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because this is literally my first time doing this adulthood thing alone. This is my first time moving out of my family house. This is my first time living by myself. And not just that, after I left the supermarket and I got home, my security is bringing NEPA bill, and NEPA bill has gone up by 2 times. Like, it's insane. I can't keep up with these bills. I am so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted. Every single money that I have been making, I'm using it to pay bills. I don't even get to live properly. The craziest thing was, you want to go out to a certain location with your friends, and Uber is about 25,000. Like, even Uber, that we can't even take Uber. It is crazy. Like, why are things so expensive? And let's not even Lagos stinks. Lagos smells like shit. If you say, okay, I want to take a walk, I'm depressed, let me just take a walk, you can't even take a walk. Like, the place smells like crazy. Why does an entire state smell like this? And what is the government doing about the bad smell? Everything is just so overwhelming. You want to start up a business, and now you have to take a loan to start up a business, and the loan, you don't even know if you can actually repay it, because the business, I don't know, I'm just so tired. Like, why is no one saying anything about it? Being an NYSC Corper, there's nothing beneficial about this whole NYSC thing. The money I spend on transportation is just more than the alawi the government gives me. Like, it doesn't, I can't keep up. Like, I'm so tired of this bill and I can't keep up. I am overwhelmed and I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It's too much, and I wish that we would start calling the government out heads on. For example, Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Like, what are you doing to help us? What are you doing to help the economy? You are so terrible. I'm so sick and tired of Nigerians acting like we are strong, and they say, oh, Nigerians, we are actually very strong. Oh, no matter how much they increase things, we still chest it. No, it is not cute. We are cowards. That is a cowardly behavior. You don't stand to ask people, oh, why is this expensive? For example, MTN, what the fuck is even going on? Literally, I spend over like 20,000 on data in a week, and I'm not even joking. 1.5 data cannot even last me for an entire day. I have to do 1.5 like 2 times a day, which is like 3,000 a day. It is too much. Like, what are you guys doing about it? Like, what is happening? I'm tired of paying bills. I feel like I don't have anything. Good morning. I feel like I don't have any achievement to call my own. Every single time that I work hard, I'm spending it back in the economy to pay bills, and I wasn't created to pay bills. I'm just really tired, and I just want our money to count for something. And when is the government going to actually start working? Because Nigerians are so classist. Everybody now wants to behave as if they are rich. Everybody is faking wealth, but we are ending up being poor because we are struggling so hard to look rich. We're ending up being poor. So I need us as Nigerians to please start calling the government out. We should be tired of this by now. We need to call the government out. Prices need to start one place. Food needs to start one place. The economy needs to start one place. Like, we are tired. It's just too much. The more you work hard to achieve something, the higher it gets. The dream car that I was saving money for has literally gone double. I can't even afford it anymore. Instead, I'm going to use my money to buy, to just keep paying bills. And now house rent is double. Like, I am so sick and I'm so tired of this, and I really need the government to intervene because I am so overwhelmed. decide that we want to start calling Nigerian government out, don't you guys know that a lot of changes will actually be made in the environment or in the society or in our economy as well? Let me tell you guys something. There's nothing Nigerian government hates more than when external bodies start tapping into our economy. They hate it so much, and I don't know why. Is it because maybe external bodies actually give us funds or something? Maybe that's why they hate it. Now, I want you guys to think back to every time that Nigerians actually spoke up. Is there a time that we spoke up and a change was not made? Like, is there a time? If we decide that we want to run a 30 days challenge where we're going to complain about the economy, we'll keep complaining about the economy. Do you guys not know that people will start looking into it? Like, oh, what's going on in Nigeria? Why are people complaining so much? And they will start making changes. Now, let me tell you guys something, Ba. You see, we as the Nigerian youth, we don't come close to our parents. This generation we are always blaming. It is because of this generation that we had a stable income. It is because of this generation that biscuit was 15 naira from my primary school until my university. It's because of this generation. They are the ones that fought for that stable government that we enjoyed. They were the youth in their time, and when they had bad government, they stood up to it and they fought for it. Now that it's our turn, people are commenting in the caption and saying, in the comments and saying, oh, they are going to pick you up. Oh, you think you're very dark man. I don't think I'm anyone. I just think I'm a Nigerian who is suffering and I'm tired of it. And I need someone to actually come out and say, okay, it's enough. Prices will stay one place. That's what I need. I'm sick and tired of this. Are you guys not tired? Number one, in case you guys don't know, go and take a look at Abacha. In case you guys don't know, Abacha was like a president at a particular time, right? And there was a time where our parents had to start using something called Abacha stove because they couldn't even get kerosene. What happened to Abacha? I don't need to be the one to tell you. Go and look up history and know what happened to them. What happened to him? Every single time our parents had the chance, they fought for a better government. And that is why they could use 100,000 naira to raise 4 children. Middle class children. Your parents is earning 100,000, you say you're middle class. It's because they fought for it. It reached our turn now. Every time they say, come out and talk about the government, someone will say, Abego, they will shoot. We employ those people. It is because of us those people are in power. It's because of you. You voted for them to be in power. They are working for you. If you don't hold them accountable, who is going to hold them accountable? Who will hold them accountable? Because we are so used to adjusting to the system that they don't see that there's a problem. If you come out and you speak, there's a problem. They need to hear us and they need to make changes. Now, let me start first. Which state are you located in? You need to start calling out the governor of that state. It's not only the president we hold accountable, hold governors accountable. Now let me start with Governor Sanwo-Olu. What's up with you? What's up with you? Like, what's going on with Lagos? Because I live in Lagos State. The roads are terrible. Have you seen the potholes? You're the governor of Lagos State. Are you not on the road, yeah? Are you not driving on the road? Are you not seeing the potholes? There's no drainage system in Lagos. Lagos smells like it's like I said yesterday. What are you doing about it, Governor Sanwo-Olu? What are you doing about it? Look at the way people are begging in Lagos. Are you not tired? What are you doing about it? What are you doing with the government allocated funds that they are sending to you? Can you come out and tell us, oh, people living in Lagos, so I beg, this is what I've been doing so far. I've been building roads. I've been doing schools. What are you doing about it? What are you doing with the money that they are giving to you? You need to come out and start telling us what you're doing, because we've been keeping quiet for way too long. And I'm urging all Nigerians to come out and speak to, like, is this not tiring? Why am I buying foodstuffs over 200k that is supposed to be worth 50k? Everything is 3 in price. 333. You wake up this morning, electricity is 2.5. Tomorrow is 3.5. Why are things always going up every single week? Why do we have no staple price list? Every time restaurants are peeling paper to add new paper, they'll plaster new paper on top. Now it's our turn to actually fight for the government, and people are suggesting that we should jack from the country. You guys, we are the biggest ever. Because why are we running from country that our parents worked so hard with their bare hands to actually create a foundation for? Why is it our turn and we have to run away from the country? Why can't we stand up and ask these people? We need to hold these people accountable. They need to tell us what they have been doing with the government allocated funds, and they need to come out and start telling us. It's time for us to actually be angry. I'm not angry, because I'm very angry. And Governor Sanwo-Olu, you need to come out and tell us what you're doing with government allocated funds for Lagos State. What are you doing? President Tinubu, what measures have you been putting in place that the government or the governors have been reporting to you to tell you what they are doing? Because you alone, you're not the only one, you know. You're not the only one. So when we drag you by the collar, you drag the governors. What measures have you been putting in place to make sure that there's price regulation? So guys, yesterday I made a video talking about the Nigerian government and how terrible President Tinubu is, and I was crying in the video. So 30 minutes ago, I just received a call from the NYSC board, starting with the secretariat before the LGI. And for the secretariat, for the NYSC secretariat, I'm going to attach a what she said, some of the things she said, so you guys will hear.
Are you normal?
I wasn't insulting the president, ma. I was only asking for accountability.
Hold down that rubbish you put there.
Ma, are you threatening me?
Hold down that rubbish. You are not talking to your mate.
Ma, she called me and she was shouting and she was threatening me to take down the video. And I'm in my first mind, I'm like, wait, how did they get my phone number? And then I realized that every NYC Corper has to fill a file with your phone number and your address. I'm like, these people actually have my house address and they know where I'm staying. And now they have started calling me first to threaten me. It is so bad that you can't even just speak up about the government because they feel like they have chains to hold you. You're already calling me to threaten me. And this is, I will literally attach what she said so you guys can hear. She was telling me that I was insulting the president. I never insulted the president. I said he's terrible. That is not an insult. It is a statement, and I did not go on and start saying, oh, Tinubu, you're this, you're that. I just said he's a terrible president. And it's okay for a government, for a body to identify that, okay, this person is actually terrible at their job. So why is it a problem that the NYC government, NYC secretariat, or NYC board will call me to threaten me? Like, why is that okay? That I can't speak up for something that is directly hurting me? Why is it okay that they will call me to threaten me under 24 hours that I made a video? Why can't Nigerians speak up? Why are they holding us in chains? Why do they feel like everything that we do, they have ways to control us? Let me tell you guys something, NYC board or whatever. If you guys have come together and you like, maybe you're not calling me one by one to threaten me, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Because I know that you guys already have plans. The one that this one is calling me, the next person is calling me, that's fine. But now I'm putting it out here so you guys will see and you guys will know. NYSC, they have my house address and they are started calling me to threaten me. So in case anything happens, you will be very much aware where the problem started. Because I did not say anything I shouldn't have said. The Nigerian government are not doing anything about the inflation that is happening. And it's causing us to be very depressed. I am depressed and my bank account is going to zero and I still have to live every day. And I'm asking the Nigerian government to do something about the inflation. And instead of me to get a call and say, okay, we are working on it, I'm getting a call saying that, oh, you're very stupid. Why did you do that to Tinubu? Take down that video. You did this, you did that. I just want you guys to know that this is what the NYC board are doing. And in case anything happens to me, because they have my address, you guys know who to hold accountable.
Osas Welcome Radio, bringing you the news in a more digital way.